Welcome to Just Kidding. I'm Quincella, and we've got a great show for you today. You'll meet one of the finest young tennis players in the country. You'll also find out what it's like when Mickey and Max fall in love. But first, here's Mark in the control room to tell you about what's coming up right now.
If you're like most kids, you like playing video games. Do you ever wonder who comes up with the ideas for them or how they create them? Then watch this.
Pat Ransel loves his job so much, he usually gets there at 7 every morning. The company he works for is in Los Gatos, in the heart of Silicon Valley. Pat is a video game designer for Imagic. He's created such games as Atlantis and Safecracker.
I really enjoy video game design. It's a very demanding job. We work very, very hard. When I'm starting a new game or finishing a game, usually work in excess of 60 hours a week. The atmosphere here is what I like to call loose, but at the same time intense. The video game designers typically don't wear suits and ties. They dress however they are comfortable, which sometimes might be fairly nice clothes. Sometimes it's t-shirts and shorts and sandals or whatever they like.
A team of creative people like Pat take months and months to design a game from the initial idea to the time when it's tested. It's serious business, and you'd be surprised how much education you need to do it.
My training is in electrical engineering and computer science. I went to UC Berkeley and graduated there with a double degree.
In 1979, when Pat was only 22 and working as an engineer at Intel, one of his old friends from college asked him if he'd like to be a partner in a new company. That company was Imagic.
We spent a lot of time, dreaming about what the company would be and how we'd get it all going. And we started working while they were putting up the walls of our office. We had the venture capital money in the bank, and it was real exciting.
That the lava coming out could, come up into the air and actually singe you if you're not careful, or it could destroy some of the treasures that you're after. At the same time,
this game storming session is really the first step in designing a video game.
What types of things do you think the dragon would do? If you were a dragon, how would you be going through life? What would your enemies be? What would you be wanting to accomplish?
You should be able to fly around, flap your wings, and probably breathe fire too, and be able to maneuver around in the sky.
A lot of the ideas that we have come out of what we call game storming sessions, where a lot of the game designers will sit in a room or go away for a weekend or whatever, and we'll just talk about game ideas. Maybe something that we just thought of, some evening while we were reading a book or watching television.
Well, I've been thinking one thing that dragon's got to do, he's got to raise baby dragons. Otherwise, the race doesn't survive.
To be a video game designer, you need a number of things. First of all, it's very important that you're good assembly language programming. You need to have a good concept of gameplay. Why is a game fun? What keeps someone's interest? In a way, you're actually creating your own world. You're your own storyteller. Also an appreciation for graphics and for art. What is pleasing to the eye?
Once an idea has been agreed upon, the individual designers go back to their offices, close the door, and translate the concepts into a computer program.
A lot of the game design is just sitting down and thinking, for instance, how do I want the difficulty of a game to progress? I want it to start out easy, then I want the game player to learn different relationships, what they must do, how they must react to certain occurrences on the screen, and to think this all out in such a way that it's consistent, that it'll make a fun game. Some of that should be done here at work with other people, but some of it you don't need other people. So you can do that at home, you can do that in your office with the door closed, you can do that out somewhere if you can get some time to sit down and think. What I'm looking for, Matt, in this game is some kind of a dragon, and I want it to look powerful and strong, but not evil. Okay?
Yeah.
The player is supposed to identify with this dragon.
While the designer is still working on the software for a new game, he consults with the artist on how the graphics will look. Pat and artist Matt Sarconi work together on the visuals for Wing War.
Yeah, because he's going to have to be able to, bring them down as he's going to be moving forward. And then he also should have some kind of legs, because sometimes he will be on the ground. The ideas for a game I did, my first game, Atlantis, was to actually start out in the day, then go to the dusk or evening, and then go to the nighttime. The idea for that was actually, we got that from our graphics artist, Mike Becker. And, you know, I just had no thought of doing that. And when he said it, I said, oh, God, that'll be real hard to do. I can't do that. And I thought about it more and more and said, hey, that could be a really important, really fun part of the game. So I tried it and was able to come up with a way to do it, and it worked out very, very well. Oh, yeah, kind of jabs forward there with the jaw.
Right. Maybe you have his eyes closed a little bit.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Before the games go into production at the factory, each game is tested by the real experts.
One of the important parts of a game design is really how do the kids perceive the game? Do they really enjoy it? What parts do they like? What parts are more of a nuisance and a pain? Our game testers can tell them that.
Well, the weirdest thing is we were playing, it happened the other day, we were playing this one game, Moonsweeper, and the spaceships were coming from all over the screen, and they're only supposed to be in the air, and they were coming from the ground and everything. It was really kind of funny.
Some of the kids are just incredibly talented. They play games many hours a week for us, and they see things in the games that the game designer might not have seen. They see maybe, you know, something wrong with the graphics, maybe a sound gets stuck and, you know, keeps on going when it shouldn't, that kind of thing.
It's great. It's great. You can't find a better job, that's for sure. I love it. Because I like video games, and getting to do them free and then being paid for it is unbelievable, actually.
Pat is as turned on by designing video games as the people who play them are. It's true that he's got tons of energy, lots of ideas, and is dedicated to his work.